Hey guys, I hope you're sitting down because right here, right now, Roman and I have the world premiere of the all-new Ram Revolution electric concept truck here, right here in the middle.
Yeah, we're here at CES, and as you know, Ram has kind of come late to the game to the electric truck world. First, Ford built the Lightning, which of course was a standard F-150 that happened to be electric, and then Chevy kind of based their electric Silverado on the Hummer EV. But Ram might be late, but they also have a lot of surprises up their sleeve. Isn't that right, Andre?
Yeah, in this video, we're gonna walk all the way around the truck and show you the exterior features and then interior features as well. And some of the features may kind of blow your mind or actually stop and think what the truck can be or maybe what the truck should be, right?
Yeah, the great thing about electric trucks is that it allows you to rethink the entire breed, and Ram has certainly done that. So while they may not be first to the electric truck game, they certainly have brought a lot of innovation and a lot of interesting things. And in this video, we're going to go through and show you some of the most unique and some of the most innovative new truck features that you may or may have not thought about. So let's start with the design, Andre.
Yeah, so the design, as you can see, is pretty wild. It's based on a frame. So we cannot see the frame right now, but underneath this truck is something they call STLA frame electric architecture, which means it's really a frame-based truck, and then the body and the bed go on top of it. And it's riding on these insane concept 24-inch wheels with a 35-inch tall tire. You can see here 325 45 R24s. And you may think this is a kind of a concept thing, but actually the other manufacturers, Chevrolet and GMC, they have 24s coming to production. So I'm thinking this could be also a production type wheel look.
Yeah, but I'm thinking the work truck certainly won't come on 24s, Andre.
Well, the work truck won't, no. But yeah, so let us know in the comments below what you think about the design. Then what they did is the front is a little bit shorter, right? So the hood area is not as long as a traditional pickup truck. That allowed them to stretch the cabin, right? So they're saying the cabin is about 4 inches longer than the standard crew cab. And then the bed is approximately the same as a standard crew cab truck, which is for a standard crew is about 5.5 feet long. But this truck has a midgate. It has barn style tailgate that we'll show you in a second. And it has a pass-through all the way to the front, which is pretty nuts.
Yeah, now I do love kind of the Coke bottle shape of this, right? So it's truck, but it also kind of looks a little bit like a Dodge muscle car. There's a little bit of, Dodge muscle in this truck, and I think that is something that Ram has always prided itself on, and that is, building trucks that are not just
useful.
Yeah, I was going to say utilitarian, but also emotionally connecting with the buyer.
Yeah, so we got to talk about the suspension, right? So it's got four-wheel independent suspension. It's got four-wheel steering, and they're saying the rear steer is 15 degrees, dude.
Yeah, the Hummer EV is 10 degrees.
Yes, so that's a lot. That means maneuverability, off-road, on-road, and also for towing, right? And there's a couple more things we need to talk about before we go inside. First of all, the electric architecture is 800 volt. So they're using kind of the industry leading standard currently, 800 volt system.
And you know what that means? Basically faster recharge time.
Yeah.
So it allows you to charge it quicker.
350 kilowatts. Let's look at the rear end.
Yep.
350 kilowatt charging, and they're saying you can add up to about 100 miles in 10 minutes. So look at the rear, and everything on this concept is lit up. You've got, of course, LED signature lights, the logos, the RAM.
And it's interesting, it's a 50-50 barn door split, not a 40-60.
Right, like they're currently using in production. So they got that going for them. And two motors, right? One motor in the front, one in the rear. So it's all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive capability. And then we don't have a few numbers, right? We don't have like range estimate for this. They said 500 miles approximately in their original statements a year and a half ago, but we don't have those numbers. We don't have power numbers. We don't have torque numbers. We don't have towing and payload numbers. This is a concept, right? So the production truck will be available, they say, in a few months for us to see, and it's going to be going to production in 2024. So, but right now we're looking at this concept.
Now, a couple other things I've noticed, Andre, and we'll show this, of course. If you look here, of course, it's got the recessed door handles, which has now become kind of a trademark of electric vehicles.
Suicide doors?
Well, that's what I was going to say. If you look at the way that they're, you'll see that
Yeah.
those are most likely suicide doors. Also, looks like the rear
Small
view
mirrors.
mirror is tiny because it's probably got a camera, am I guessing?
Right, which is really not a production feature because the regulatory requirements require you to have a certain size mirror.
Yeah, in Europe it's allowed, but not here. And then, of course, one door over here. Let's see if there's another one on the other side.
Yeah, the charge port. So
Yeah.
level 1, level 2, level 3, like we said about fast charging, 350 kilowatt.
Not ideal right now with the way the chargers are set up because obviously there's no such thing as, or there are very few drive-throughs chargers if you're towing, so it's a little bit easier if it's in the nose of the vehicle, but nevertheless, Rivian's kind of on the side.
Well, F-150 Lightning is on the
The
side.
side, and GM puts it
In the back.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's kind of where that.
By the way, air adjustable suspension. So this is right now, I think, in their lower mode.
Yep.
So like egress mode, there's also, of course, going to be a higher right height.
What do you think of these little LED heavy-duty running lights?
Well, this looks like either a Raptor or a TRX to me.
Yes. And of course, I think those are like unique patterns on the tires, right?
And they're saying also,
Probably.
yeah, those are show tires, I
Yeah.
think. And they're saying, I believe, like fold-out tow hooks.
Yeah, because I don't see any recovery points right now.
But I think they're still there. They're just hidden, which is kind of a unique solution.
All right, well, shall we cut for a second
Yes.
and through the magic of video, open this up so you can see the inside and show you some of the really cool and innovative features, because we promised that.
How about right now? How about that?
I think that's a jump cut, but that's okay, Andre. So this is where it gets really interesting and really innovative because obviously, let's start with the fact that there are suicide doors on a truck and 3 rows of seating, but we'll show you all that. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you something Andre doesn't even know about, which is a feature that this truck shares with the Rolls-Royce. So why don't you go through and start at the front, Andre, and then we'll go on the inside.
Okay, so it's an electric truck, right? So
Right.
that's this space is of course open for usage. And look, this is a very unique feature. Actually, a pass through inside into the cabin, which means they say with the tailgate closed and this open, you can put an item that's 18 feet long all the way inside of the truck while it's closed.
Like a 2x4?
Like a very long 2x4.
Like a 2x8?
You know, at the Tumbleweed Ranch, David would love this. You know, he carries telephone poles.
Yeah, I
you know,
noticed
all this stuff.
I noticed some other things. Why don't you show them? Look at the little power panel there.
Yeah, so we have
Onboard power.
onboard power, so export including 220 volt
Yep.
or 120 volt. We got tracks for mounting cleats. We got lighting. You can see kind of the lighting all the way around. Cup holders, cup hold areas on both sides. Quite usable. Also, these would open up like little shelves, so things don't move around.
Now that I'm looking at this truck, Andre, I kind of feel like we're looking at a multi-million-dollar prototype. Don't let that freak you out when you go on the inside and show it.
Well, they said they could sit in the seat.
I know, that's why I'm saying it.
Okay.
Don't let that freak you out. All right, let's
Okay.
go and show them the inside
right.
because obviously this is where there are some really unique features. So first and foremost, hey, these seats are asymmetrical.
Yes, so once again, look at the floor. It's got a track system concept. I'm just almost 6'3". I'm sitting here in the back, and this is what they're saying. They expanded the cabin, so there is more space. They talked about limousine-style room. I would agree.
And look up, look at how crazy that is.
Dude,
huh?
the roof is insane. Look at these panels. I've got my sort of light control, my bed control, my auxiliary. I think it's in the demo mode now, so it's kind of talking to me now.
Yes. And then look at that. We have a jump
So-
seat and 2 jump seats. So really,
Yes.
we're looking at potentially 6 people.
For this configuration.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if this was a bench seat, for
Yes.
example, this is 2 + 2 + 3, 7-person configuration. So these seats kind of open up like this. The tailgate can actually fold down, right? So either way, you can remove these and use them at your campsite.
When you say tailgate, you mean midgate.
I'm sorry, midgate.
Yes. So that can actually fold down. And I like this little feature right there where you can actually hang stuff
Yeah.
off of them.
Be careful, that's $1 million right there.
And that probably is $1 million. I got to be careful. I also noticed traditional running boards. Look at these door handles. They're pretty funky.
Really funky.
Yeah, really funky. And why don't you jump in the front seat?
So there is a lot more, dude.
Yeah, here. Why don't you jump in the front and kind of show them the, dare I say it, it's not a yoke, but it's certainly a square steering wheel. I'll give you the camera. I'll come over by you.
Sorry, hold on. I'm a little scared about this. This is a really priceless
I
prototype.
know, it is.
So here's the thing. On the concept, flat top, flat bottom steering wheel, they're saying this steering wheel is designed to be collapsible and fold away, right? So for autonomous driving, or maybe when you're stopped, you can kind of fold this away. Then, this is pretty insane. So right now they have a 12-inch single screen. Now they have dual 14.2-inch diagonal screens, and they can move. So the idea is this screen can be a little bit lower, or you can move it up and take this screen as an iPad. Whoa, I didn't do that.
No, it just did it on its own.
Remove this and use it as an iPad, or like a tablet. Whoa, there's a dude coming out here.
Yeah, I think you got to log into your truck. People are going to hate that.
Hold on, let me show you.
Okay.
So it also has like relaxing modes, cabin modes, of course drive modes. It's got a little, wireless place for 2 phones. This folds out into a little workspace area.
Well, try folding it. Open it up. See if they'll be careful.
I don't know. They told me not to touch.
All right, then don't touch it. But it folds out into a workspace.
Yes. So the way it works, it kind of opens up like this,
Uh-huh.
forward, and open like a table.
Okay, and then I do love this part. I'm going to touch it. Like it's
Whoa.
got that big center grab handle on the steering wheel.
Dude, the steering wheel feels pretty cool too.
Now, looks like this leather is really nice. Or am I wrong, Andre?
It's made of apple byproducts.
Really?
So it's kind of a environmentally friendly material. It's so-called vegan
So
vegan
you're
leather.
saying instead of like a Bighorn edition, they're going to have like a Red Delicious?
I would say so. Of course, B pillar is gone. It's a true suicide opening door. Look, I just noticed this too. A cooled storage compartment in the door.
There's a lot of really interesting little touches everywhere. I like these little light strips that, give you really interesting lighting. Of course, more ways to maneuver the seat. And we are being very careful with this because I think there's 2 of these in the world right now.
And of course, height adjustable suspension. So I'm assuming that's a kneel mode to make the truck kind of kneel as you're standing next to it.
Yeah.
Dude, my mind is kind of exploding, and we haven't even touched the bed.
All right, well, let's go to the bed before your mind explodes anymore.
I don't even know where I am right now.
All right, so the cool thing about the bed here, like I said, there's a lot of cool features, is even though it's barn door, it still folds down like a
Remember,
traditional-
we saw the barn doors, and I thought it's only barn doors, but it's
Tailgate,
not.
yeah.
And it's also got these kind of extender, right? And I was talking to the designers, and they said this floor of the bed can actually slide in and out, like a tray.
Okay.
So if this is open in a barn store manner, you can actually load something heavy and kind of push it in.
And keep in mind that is a midgate.
Yes.
So like the Silverado, that also opens
So
up.
let me so this part, the glass disappears,
Yep.
and this midgate folds,
Yeah,
right?
And of course, we've got more onboard power right here. Ram power panel, 124 of them on 220 volt and an auxiliary. How cool is that?
Yeah, dude. So there's so many features to talk about. There's also something they call follow me mode, which is kind of crazy.
Okay.
Because
I take it the truck follows you like a dog on a leash.
yes. So all you have to do is enable the feature. You walk in the front, and the truck just safely follows you. I don't know what kind of a useful scenario we can come up for that, but it's a kind of a cool trick.
Well, I guess if you're at a work site and you want to
Stealthily, come here, truck.
show off to all your work buddies,
Yeah.
you have the
Yeah,
truck
totally.
follow you out to the main gate and then jump in and drive home.
And also, they're talking about a feature called Ram Charger.
Okay.
It's not a new vehicle, but it's kind of a robotic charger. So the idea is to make home charging easier. So when you pull up in your garage, this kind of robot that looks like a giant Roomba comes out underneath the truck, finds the place where it can connect and charge your battery.
Like a Roomba charger in your garage.
On steroids.
And that's crazy. So before we wrap up this video, let's kind of go over the main features of the truck again, because obviously we didn't show that. That is a camera,
course, camera and mirror.
yeah, and then another control panel up there. And the main features, of course, when you're talking about electric vehicles are how much range. So did we talk about that?
Right. Originally Ram promised up to 500 miles.
Yeah.
But in this concept, they haven't talked about range extending yet.
Size of the battery?
We don't know.
And you said something important there. You said range extending. There was a lot of talk of there being a range extender.
Right.
Kind of like an i3 where there's an independent motor Actually, a gas engine
Yes.
that powers a battery that then turns the two motors in the truck, but there's no range extender in this one.
Well, they haven't talked about it for
Yes.
this concept.
So it might be coming, but it's not.
Yeah, it
not
might be
this
coming
yet.
later. And also, we don't know the power, we don't know the torque, we don't know the payload, we don't know the towing capacity.
But we do know 800-volt architecture.
Yes. So, and they said the motors, so two of them, one in the back, one in the front, they said it's designed to have different horsepower outputs.
Okay.
So you can, make those motors more
And
capable.
didn't they also say that you can upgrade that at some point?
Well, I think the idea is there'll be multiple versions of this. That's
Okay.
the way I'm reading it.
Gotcha.
So there'll be like a base one and maybe a high performance one, something like this, but they haven't said exactly what it might be. But dude, I think I'm forgetting about some features that we haven't even touched on yet.
Well,
There's so much.
Well, we're doing a complete podcast, so head on over to alltfl.com if you really want a deep dive in this truck, because that'll be up there as well. So this is kind of our first introduction to it. But yeah, there's just a staggering amount of innovation and thoughtful features in this that redefine what a truck is. Like I said, sometimes being last in a segment is advantageous, right?
Totally.
Because you're given the time and the ability to come up with and rethink what the truck is. And I think this is a really cool concept. But of course, the key thing is concept, right? Because, like I said, this is $1 million truck, and how much of this is actually going to make it into production?
And you know what? I asked Mike Koval, the CEO of Ram Brand.
Yeah.
That's on the podcast, and I said, Mike, is this buildable? Will you build this? And he said, stay tuned. So they're not quite ready to discuss every feature, if it's going to be productionalized. But they said in a few months, the production version of this truck will be shown. We'll be able to show it to you. And then it'll go into production in 2024. So maybe about a year or more from now, it will start production.
All right, so I promised to show you a feature that is shared with the Rolls-Royce.
What is it?
Here, you go and show them. Go look at that center cap in the wheel. Go look at the center cap.
Heated storage?
Go look at the center cap in the wheel.
Yes.
And spin it.
Hey!
So you know what that does, right?
Yes, it always stays when the wheel is turning.
Yeah, it
right?
always stays, the same way, so it always reads RAM when the truck is moving down the road.
By the way, this is new. This kind of aerodynamic wheel design, it has kind of almost looks like a stone finish here, or kind of a design feature built into the wheel itself.
And you said there was heated storage, so there's both cold and heated?
Yeah.
Wow. So heated storage, cold storage, and room temperature storage for the kiddos.
And for the people.
Exactly. You don't want to freeze or heat them up too much.
So guys, let us know what you think. I think Ram just they looked at everything that's available and what's possible, and they put it all in one here.
Okay, and I'm sure people out there are wondering, when can we buy this and how much will it cost?
We don't know the price. We'll know that soon.
Yep.
Hopefully in a few months we'll know what the production truck will look like and what it will cost. But let's take a look at the price of the competitors, right? The F-150 Lightning starts at around $57,000 now. They've raised the
work
price.
truck, yeah.
Yes, they raised the price.
And the
it goes
Platinum's up to
96.
Yeah.
And then Silverado goes now between about 74,000 to 105, and it will be a little bit cheaper later.
And
so
for those of you who are thinking Rivian, which is really a little smaller than this, we're looking at anywhere from like 70 to 90.
Well, it
depending.
used to be 70, but now it's more like 85 and 95.
Yeah.
So that's the price range where this truck is actually playing in, right? So if it starts about 60, I think it'll be really competitive, just for kind of a more basic version.
Anyway, there you have it, guys. You saw it first certainly over here at TFL Truck. Remember, go to All TFL, where Andre's doing also a podcast on this with a much deeper dive, talking to the CEO of Ram. And we're hopefully going to soon find out how much of this is actually going to make it into production, and how much of it is $1 million or $2 or $3 or $10 million concept vehicle. But yeah, if this were for sale, sign me up, Andre.
Actually, yeah. Where do I sign? I don't know if I can afford it.
Exactly. All right. See you guys next time. Ciao.
See you. Thanks.